So let's talk about the future of San Diego. This would probably be a good time for some special effects. Jeremy, can you do some special effects? Maybe give me a smoke cloud, fireball, laser beams. All right, well, at least give us like a dope transition into the next scene. So when you look at the major projects coming to San Diego over the next 10 to 20 years, it's pretty wild to think about how this is going to completely transform San Diego as a whole. And I genuinely think once all of these projects are completed and more projects come into the pipeline, we're absolutely going to be one of the top tourist destinations in the entire world. I want to show you the top 4 projects coming to San Diego so you can see what I'm talking about. So the first project we need to talk about is a new sports arena development that is going to happen over in Point Loma. Now, one of the cool things about this location and this development is it truly could become the heart of San Diego, especially for tourism. The location is very close to the San Diego airport. It's very close proximity to downtown San Diego, to the walkable communities of North Park, South Park, Hillcrest. It just has proximity to just about every single thing that you need. You also have transportation and more opportunities for more public transportation getting in and out of there. Another thing that's special about this is, we don't really have a lot of sports teams here in San Diego. In fact, I just did a video about pros and cons of living in San Diego, and the lack of professional sports teams was definitely one of the negatives. With the Padres at Petco Park, downtown San Diego, we have the brand new San Diego State football team's Snapdragon Stadium, but then that's pretty much it. Now with this project, it has been a lot of back and forth with the city over the last couple of years because they had picked a developer to develop out this entire site a couple of years back, and that kind of fell through. So the city finally came through and selected the new developer, Midway Rising. So the plan calls for a total of 4,250 residential units. There's going to be a brand new 16,000 seat arena, a 200-room hotel, and 20 acres of plaza and park space, including a 4.2 acres of rooftop parks. That sounds pretty incredible, especially for the location where it's going to be here in San Diego. So now that the city has agreed to hire Midway Rising for this project, Midway Rising now has 2 years to hammer out all of the development plans and all of the leases that are going to happen. So not only is this huge to have a brand new 16,000 seat arena and these new developments right next to it, but I think that this is really going to help transform the entire area of sports arena. I mean, it's extremely commercial. It's really not the prettiest place to drive through. And again, I mean, just so much opportunity. This is going to help transform San Diego in a big, big way. And the next new development, I guess this is kind of two combined, but there are a lot of new developments going into Mission Valley. So you have San Diego State, who has purchased the site where the Chargers used to play. They built out their Snapdragon Stadium. That is a really great stadium that you should go check out, as long as it's not a noon game on one of the hottest days out of the year. It's so damn hot. But along with that stadium, San Diego State is also building out a completely separate campus. They're building out a bunch of housing. They're building out a bunch of industrial and commercial sites as well. And one of the great things about this is it's one of the few places that's right on the trolley line, so you could go back and forth from the main San Diego State campus and this kind of second campus that they're building out. The other major development coming to Mission Valley is going to be the new Riverwalk Build Out. So this project is going to transform the existing Riverwalk golf course in western Mission Valley into a 200-acre live, work, play, transit-oriented neighborhood. There's going to be nearly 100 acres of village that are going to be dedicated to open space and a regional park. Combined, these two projects are going to cost well over $3.5 billion. This is massive, massive change to one of the places in San Diego that needs it most. Mission Valley is known for having old hotels and kind of strip malls, and it's kind of separated out. There's plenty that you could do, plenty of shopping over there, but it feels dated. And just to kind of give you an example, I had a client just 2 weeks ago that was staying in San Diego for the weekend. They had booked a hotel in Mission Valley, and I kid you not, they spent about 30 minutes at this hotel. They hated the area so much. They felt like it was grungy and old and dated.
This whole place is disgusting.
They ended up moving and finding a hotel somewhere else. They completely left Mission Valley. So this whole transformation out in Mission Valley, again, another very central place here in San Diego, and it's going to be incredible to see what they do with it. The next project that you need to know about is actually down in Chula Vista. And one of the reasons I'm extremely excited about this project is because traditionally Chula Vista has felt so segregated, so far away from the rest of San Diego, and there's very little in Chula Vista that actually draws tourists to it. In fact, that's one of the reasons with my clients, they typically end up staying away from Chula Vista when they're relocating here to San Diego because you just feel isolated. You feel away from the hustle and bustle and away from everything else that's going on in the city of San Diego. But this Chula Vista Bayfront project is going to transform that. 535 acres right on the water. This is a $1 billion project that they are building. And this isn't just a new idea. This has been in the works for decades. The goal is to transform the Chula Vista Bayfront into a thriving residential and world-class waterfront resort destination. Now, this project is very early on in the development, so stay tuned. I'm going to absolutely create future videos letting you know what's happening and when they're going to start hitting some deadlines and when we're actually going to see some of these buildings start to go up. I've had some clients tell me, and I completely agree, this is one of the areas in San Diego that would absolutely be worth looking at moving to as an investment strategy, because with $1 billion going into this area, there's no way that it's not going to help transform all of Chula Vista and bring it to be one of the destinations that people actually want to go to here in San Diego. And lastly, something that you do not want to miss, this is the new Seaport Village project they've been talking about for years, and they're going to continue talking about for years. And even if it goes through as planned, we're talking 15-20 years before this thing's fully built out. But the way that's going to transform downtown San Diego, I mean, it is completely unreal. And I will say, because I know I'm going to get some hate on this isn't all positive, especially this one project. There are lots of negatives involved with this project, a lot of businesses that they would put out of business. It's going to harm the local fishermen. There's going to be a lot of negatives if this actually does go through. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm going to argue that I think that this development is going to be worth the negatives that come through with it. Because Seaport Village in that area of Embarcadero is not at its highest and best use right now. So basically, the farthest this project has gone is we know that it would cost about $3.5 billion. We know that the land that they are talking about is from Seaport Village all the way down to the USS Midway. I mean, this is basically the entire coast of downtown San Diego's Embarcadero. So just listen to what they're proposing. This development program includes 16 acres of parks and open space, 2,058 hotel rooms spread across 7 properties, 229,000 square feet of retail and restaurant space, new piers and marinas, creating room for 265 boat slips, an event center, a 225 square foot blue tech office campus with an ocean sciences school, a fish processing facility, an aquarium, and more than 2,000 parking spaces. But just look at these renderings and imagine this being the new San Diego skyline. This is just a taste of what's coming soon to San Diego. We have more major developments coming to downtown San Diego: Santee, Chula Vista, Otay Ranch, Escondido, San Marcos, Vista, and a new proposal to completely transform Mira Mesa over the next 30 years, from industrial to residential and mixed use, which I think we need more of here in San Diego. What do you think? Is this future of San Diego fantastic and wonderful and you could just totally envision it? Or is it dystopian? Is it terrible? Is it going to kill our economy? Truthfully, maybe it's just somewhere in the middle. My name's Dan Parker. I'm a real estate agent here in San Diego. And if you have any interest in buying or selling here in San Diego, my team and I would love to help. Our info is down below.